Dahlia's here via Zoom, and we thought we'd do a few fragrance reviews we've got planned out. So this is the first one of a few. Stay tuned for the others. But today we are talking about a fragrance called Sale Gosse, Dirty Kid.
I read
Dirty
differently.
Brat.
Bratty kid.
Bratty
Maybe I'm
kid.
wrong.
Enfant terrible.
Oh yeah, a little. That's good.
So this is a Frederic Malle fragrance created by Fanny Bal, who was an apprentice of Dominique Ropillon. Came out in 2017. We thought since both of us are fans of it, why not review it via Zoom? So today we're going to tell you all about Sale Gosse from Frederic Malle. So if you want to find out about it, please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. How's everyone doing? How are you, Dahlia?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing good. Are you coping with COVID?
The
pandemic?
I've kind of settled in at this point. I may never cut my hair again. I may never see another human. It's cool. But it's so nice to see you.
I know, huh? We haven't seen each other since the last time we shot videos was very, very early March.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
1 week before the lockdown went into San Francisco, the whole country.
Broke my foot or something. Yeah.
I know, you were like limping along.
Dramatically in the rain. It was really
How's
tragic.
it?
Oh, it's good. We're fixed.
We're fixed.
Yeah, so that's all done, which is great. So yeah, this is my first Zoom perfume review. Thanks for
Zoom perfume review with Sebastian. So it's all about Sale Gosse today. But before we do that, if this is your first time tuning in and you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So as I said, this is Sale Gosse created by Fanny Bal for Frederic Malle. She's done a few fragrances that I'm a fan of. Actually, she has another similar one to this, but today we're talking about this Sale Gosse, which means dirty kid or bratty kid or little shit, right? So this is the citrus floral fragrance, and I didn't realize it was an eau de cologne, as you can see back here. Eau de cologne somewhere here.
That thing where you spray 47,000 times and it's like totally acceptable with an EDC.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? To me, this one doesn't act like an EDC. It really does act like an eau de parfum, right? Do you get that?
It's an eau de toilette at the very least. It
eau de toilette.
It has a certain effervescence, but it doesn't have the traditional like splash it on after you shave and it dissipates in 2 minutes. Like that's what I generally think of an eau de cologne. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have that. It has much better staying power than that. So, but it says eau de cologne on the box. So.
Does, yeah. So it sells for 100 ml bottle for 280, and that's the only size I saw on Frederic Malle's website. There could be more. I didn't really investigate. But for notes here, we've got Neroli oil, Bergamot, Petitgrain at the top. In the heart notes, you have Narcisse, Absolute, Rose, and Violet. In the base notes, there's Musc. Now, one thing I want to read, it said on the website, it says an ode to enfants terribles and all manner of monkey business, doodles on the blackboard, devious schemes, and pranks galore. Petitgrain, Neroli, Bergamot, and Rosemary are infused with a cheeky smile of violet and strawberry for a taste of bubblegum, old-fashioned sweets, and getting away with murder.
That's awesome. I totally get bubblegum from this. I don't get a lot of the notes that you said. I don't get strawberry. I don't. But bubblegum really comes through, especially in the hotter weather for me. Have you had that weird experience with it?
Yeah. There is something fun and playful about it, which they've captured, but you know, it's lightly there. For me, I get most of the Neroli and Petitgrain and Bergamot type notes, but I think strawberry and violet kind of are created to make that bubblegummy accord rather than smelling like, you know, strawberry and violets. That's what I get with it.
Yeah, it's definitely, for me, more of the Neroli where it's clean and bright, sort of very fresh. And then like the second phase of it, there's that little sort of, that was a bad wink, but it was intended as a wink. And that was the bubblegum sort of like. Forgive me.
Do you get the cleanness about this fragrance? But I've mentioned this many times. This particular style of fragrance is very, very soapy and clean. So it has kind of a contradictory experience when it's called, you know, style Gosse Dirty Kid or Dirty Brat or whatever. Well, you're getting this very, very clean, soapy experience from it. What do you think about that?
I could see that as a contrast. You know, it's like you're that kid in class that you say something funny and everybody laughs and the teacher turns around and you're like, so
it wasn't me.
Yeah, I mean, not that I would ever, but maybe. I mean, I could see it being like, you know, a kid that's like scrubbed and like washed, but is just the whole prankster on Font Terrible or whatever. But like every time you try to catch him in the act, they're like, so that, I mean, I could totally get that narrative from it.
You know, I had a little bratty side on my side when I was a kid. I was passing around notes and I never got caught, thankfully.
I still have them. I don't know where. I still have like a gelato box from Costco back in the day. Like,
oh wow,
in a shoebox stuffed to the gills with all the notes from high school, which I've only gone through like once or twice, and they're hilarious. My childhood was very dramatic. It was, yeah, that's.
And I was a fan of Hubba Bubba too. I was chewing gum all the time.
I wasn't allowed. That was forbidden.
I'd hide it and get away with it.
Oh, see?
But you know, I knew how to get on the good side of the teachers. So once I got on the good side of the teachers, I can get away with murder, just like this. Just the inspiration for this.
Although I guess we should say this isn't a childish fragrance. This isn't.
No.
You don't wear it and think like, ooh, that's a little young for you. There's no sense of that, and it's not. It's pretty unisex, considering that there's a floral component on my skin.
Totally unisex, yeah. It's a very, very warm weather wear kind of a fragrance. And I think the warmth brings out the strawberry-ish, not strawberry, but the bubblegum-ish kind of experience. But again, I think I get light hints of bubblegum, not like it's an overdose of bubblegum.
This is one that you are the bad influence. This was when we did the Frederic Malle list. Top
20, yeah. You fell in love with this one.
I did. I was obsessed, but it was much colder. It was like this rainy day where I broke my foot. Not actually, internet. I didn't break my foot. I just hurt it. Anyway, but it was completely different in the cold damp than it is in the hot disgustingness of this August day.
Heat.
Yeah, particularly today, because the first part of the month was like cold.
We've had a pretty cold summer, or cool summer this year.
I'm not even gonna lie. There was one day, I think it was in July, where I had like a scarf on and a hat and like socks, and I was freezing. It was sorry about moving the camera, guys. I'm trying not to be like Phantom of the Opera here with the light. Yeah, no, this is a fun wear. Do you know, by the way, what all this action is on the bottle with the dots and the numbers, like a paint by number? Is that sort of part of the childish
kids? Yeah, sketching on a chalkboard transferred over to the bottle, I think, for me. Now, why did you buy this? Is it because you fell in love with it?
This is your fault.
So this is you like this kind of fragrance. This is something you like. You like Neroli, I would guess.
I didn't know that I liked Neroli, but this is a two-part thing. So you're a terrible influence on the Frederic Malle. Then Nina Marcus had a sale. So
Ooh, that sale. That's right.
Obsessed. So yeah, so then I got this. But so fun fact, Zagara apparently means Neroli. I didn't know that. So there's this Zagara patchouli that I have from Dr. Brangy, which way back at the beginning when we did that first patchouli video.
Sadly discontinued. It's so good.
I know, it's so good. But I just thought it was like some magical mystery patchouli flower that smelled that good, but it was Neroli, and I didn't know how much I like Neroli. And then slowly but surely, more and more Neroli has come into my collection. Now
good. Yeah.
And this is just really the latest in a long line of, and you know how you justify it. It's like, well, this one's different. This one has bubble gum. Although when I first smelled it, it didn't. At your when we did the Frederic Malle ranking, did I offend people with that one? I can't remember when. I'm sure I did. I feel like I'm constantly offending people, but that that ranking was when I kind of like really crushed out on this, and the rose queer as well.
The only thing I forgot to mention is I think there's a rosemary note that I don't recall writing down.
There is definitely an herbaceous something or other action. And
yeah.
it's like one of those, you know how we have wild rosemary that like grows in bushes around here? There is that sort of like broken branch feel. I don't know if you, I don't think whatever I have has the ingredients.
The thing is, I took the notes down from Frederic Malle's website, and they don't list rosemary, but Fragrantica does list rosemary. But I kind of agree. I think it might be an accord, but there's something herbaceous, like you said, kind of like astringent a little bit, a strong herb. But it doesn't come on very strong. It comes on light, but it's one of the stronger herbal notes that's in here. That
I think that it gives a great contrast to the Neroli, which can go very, very sweet. So that herbaceousness kind of makes it more wild and outdoorsy, and it's not a very prim Neroli, which could contribute to the narrative of the terrible child rolling around in the bushes, or I don't know, getting like, you know, after you clean them up, then they go outside and like run around.
Yeah.
Get
True.
Poison oak or whatever it is people do when they hike.
No poison oak. So what kind of longevity do you get with this one?
I get all day. I don't have, it's not super strong. It's not feast on me, but I wear this one like because it's an EDC, I feel like I can kind of spray it more. So as long as it's on clothing and hair a bit as well, it's all day.
I think 6.5 to 7 hours for me, but it's very, very light. It doesn't have those beastly smells that we like patchouli or oud or something, but of course it's a freshie. But depending on how hot it is outside, it lasts longer when it's hotter because somehow the oils in here kind of come out.
Yeah, that's been a theme. I've been trying to track which weather is best for which fragrance I have, and it's, you know, I have a spreadsheet. We're not making fun of the spreadsheet today. But so like
spreadsheets are cool. I love organization.
Yeah, but so like I've marked, you know, so that I can sort for lists and stuff, like what ingredients and notes and stuff, but I added a season column for 4 of them, as you would guess. So this is definitely, but this isn't exclusively a hot weather fragrance. It's just a different wear experience in the hot weather compared with the cooler, rainier weather.
So let me ask you this, then how was your experience when you first smelled it here in March, early March, and then when you bought it and started wearing it in the summertime? Different completely. Great
question. In the summer, it's the rosemary or whatever that herbaceous note is stronger, and it makes the floral component of it sort of lighter, and there's more of a bubblegum, and the wear experience in the colder weather is much more floral, much more focused on that neroli, and it kind of makes you long for the hot weather. But then the wear experience in the hot weather isn't the same floral; it's more herbaceous.
I see. I could see that. I think what causes all those accords to come out is the heat. I have that experience with a lot of fragrances.
Me too. It's the secret ingredient. We talked about this like it was the secret of Italy, like all these Santa Maria Novella and like the unpronounceable pharmacy and all of them, like heat is the secret ingredient.
That's why a lot of people say don't rub your hands. You're killing the top notes.
People say that, yes. I don't do that. Do you?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I've done it because I like the base notes sometimes. Sometimes top notes are not that good.
Is it all about that base?
It's all about the base. Let's talk about base, baby.
That's not how that song goes.
No, it's let's talk about sex, baby.
There we are.
So what else should we say about Dirty Kid
Well,
or
you
Bratty Kid.
mentioned that Fanny Bal had some other fragrances that you really like, and that there was
So
one.
she has one that's very similar to this for a house called Costume National.
Oh, I didn't mean to check them out.
It's J. She make the same fragrances at the same time, similar fragrances? Because J came out 2 years after this last year. So,
Well, unless they went to her and said, "Hey, you know that one you just made for Frederic Malle? Did you do something similar?"
could be. And the
But
funny thing is, Dominique Ropillon, who she trained under, also has done many fragrances for, or not many, but several fragrances for Costume National. So it seems like they're keeping it in the family over there, just like they are here at Frederic Malle. They're under the organization IFF, International Flavors and Fragrances, I think it's called. I think Frederic Malle strictly goes to IFF to do fragrances.
you think Frederic Malle's going to kind of go more in this direction of having, it kind of makes sense because the line is so diverse. You know, there's the deep dark, you know, oody ouds that are so dense at like one end of the spectrum that are giant beasts and $85,000 a bottle. And then it's like you kind of have this progression into the very traditional masculine colognes, very floral feminine, powdery feminines, lots of unisex options, and then you kind of keep going along a spectrum until now you've got Outrageous and Sal Gosse and this lighter sort of eau de cologne. I mean, it seems like a logical way to broaden the brand, but in terms of when I think of Frederic Malle, I don't typically think of the lighter ones. I think of those darker ones. So do you think, I mean, there's no way to know, but do you think they're going to maybe go more in this direction to fill out the gap?
I think what they do is probably see that they have a gap between their fragrances, and they go, okay, we're missing this particular focus. We need to do that. But you know, Frederic Malle does have a fragrance that's similar to this in their collection, also created by Dominique Ropillon. So I guess, is it called Cologne Indelible? I'm forgetting the name right now.
But the Brigadier, Cologne Brigade, something.
Bigarade Concentrate. There's Bigarade Cologne Bigarade and Bigarade Concentrate. Those are by Jean-Claude Elena, I think, who we're going to speak about in another video. Yeah, but Cologne Indelible is similar to this, I think, and that one is created by Dominique Ropillon. So I guess they're trying to just cover all their bases. What are they missing? They've got plenty of different fragrances, and I'm obsessed with Moon lately. Man, you got to get your nose on Moon. It is so good. It's one of the, I hadn't had it then. I just got it like 2 months ago, and people are asking me to review it, but it's one of the Middle Eastern ones, but not as expensive. It's above Promise, but not as expensive as Dawn or Night. You liked Promise?
I think I probably like vindictively ranked it lower because of the price, if memory serves.
Oh, Promise is like 3 something. Yeah, 3 something. I think Promise is the cheapest out of the whole Middle Eastern ones. But Moon is so good. It's oud, saffron, slight light cumin with lots of fruity touches. Really, really delicious. Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the line is missing. There's a bunch of roses. There's a few patchoulis. Some great musk options. They've definitely got animalic covered. Bunch of florals. So I'd be hard pressed to kind of say like what is not there. Maybe
they need their own version of Sauvage. Ambroxan.
Oh geez. Well, I don't know. I mean, like I can think of the fragrances that I've been looking for that I haven't found from any line. Here's what I'd like to see from Frederic Malle actually is I'd like to see them get a little weird, you know, push the envelope a little, not fully like unwearable. But I'd be excited for somebody to really let their hair down on the fragrance design front, you know, something like M Ink from Byredo maybe, or like, not fully, well, exactly. You know, something polarizing.
And I have a bottle of that. It's right here, actually.
Do you?
Someone talked me into it.
there's a time and a place. I got it when it first came out. It smelled amazing on me, and then I wore it to work. I don't know what I was thinking. And I told you.
Don't wear that to work.
No, it was, you know, and it was when people were in from out of town, and it was just like, what? No, literally, like this one guy hugged me and like recoiled, which I think I've told you before, but whatever. I don't have it anymore. I wish I'd kept it, but
it's a funky funk.
There's a lot of big beasts that pushes the envelope in one way, but many of them are just so very classic. You know, vetiver extraordinaire, vetiver extraordinaire. But like that's super classic. Geranium pour Monsieur is very classic. You know, like the Teresa one is super like, you know, but so that's nice. And then there's the very beastly ones, the animalics and stuff. I'd like to see, you know, something quirky. And this has a quirky element, so maybe they are going in that direction.
Yeah, this definitely has a quirky element. Even their lavender has that weird pineapple note in it, which Music for a While, I think it was called.
I love the French Lover one. That one's
French Lover. And you know, that one we forgot to include in our video. Now I'm drawing a blank with the name.
Oliver or something? Do we have
Oliver, yeah. Great fragrance.
Yeah.
L'eau d'Ivet.
Oh, right. Sorry. We don't speak French very well. Some of us. That one. Yeah, we didn't forget. Did we just not have it there?
I had removed it from the studio and it was at somebody's house. Like my mom's.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if your mom wants to wear it, like, then come on.
Yeah.
There's some quirkier ones, like the Lee Mediterranee. That one's a little bit of an oddball.
So good.
Beautiful.
You bought that, right?
I want to buy that. I can't.
Oh no, you bought Rose and Queer. You bought Rose and Queer. Yeah.
Which is also a little quirky. Rose that isn't a rose. So I hope they're kind of going more in that direction. I mean, I got both of those because they're sort of like, ooh, I haven't smelled this before.
You know what I would want, since they do a lot of classically leaning fragrances, some fragrances with throwback to the 70s and 80s. That's what I want.
Oh, okay. I want what you want. That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Like disco era fragrances, Halston and things like that, and some powerhouses from the 80s.
Yeah.
They don't have a fougere.
Really?
No. I don't think they do have a fougere. That lavender is not a... no. Yeah. They don't have a fougere. They should come up with a cool fougere.
I think you should write them a sternly worded letter.
I will. Maybe after the pandemic is over, because I don't know what they're working on with the pandemic in full swing.
Well, I mean, yeah, there hasn't been very much coming out on the mainstream front.
Yeah, a lot of brands have delayed their launches, but I'm sure they're working on stuff. I mean, I'm sure brands work on stuff like 2-3 years out, so it will probably come out and then they'll have a delay a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they're working all the time, but no, I'm a huge fan of this brand. I really do enjoy it, even after the takeover of Estee Lauder. Any thoughts about that?
I have many thoughts about that. Was it Estee Lauder or LVMH?
No, this is Estee Lauder for sure.
I do have some thoughts. I think, I mean, there are many reasons why things are reformulated, and it's a fact of perfume fandom. It's just this thing that happens. It's heartbreaking, whatever the reasons, and I can't help but hold that against Estee Lauder a little bit. But there must have been a reason they sold anyway, so maybe like it just wasn't sustainable. They're all still really good, so I can't be that mad, but I could be a little mad. Resentful. But this, you know what? It's a good motivation to, I guess, go and get them when they come out if you love them, because now you know they might change.
Yeah, you're right. Speaking of Estee Lauder, I should mention this. I rented a Tesla recently, went to my mom's. I hadn't visited her for a long time. Coming back, I had to charge it, and I stopped into Vacaville at the outlets in Vacaville. There's an Estee Lauder outlet store there.
What do they have?
I found some Tom Fords, suggested retail, half off.
What? What did you get?
I bought a couple of Tom Ford. I bought a 100 ml bottle of Lost Cherry, which was traditionally $4.50. It was 50% off of that.
Wow.
And then I bought one of the Aqua fragrances, which was $180 down to $90.
I don't really know where Vacaville is. I've seen it on a map, but I've never been.
So now I know in Vacaville at the outlets, there's an Estee Lauder outlet store. They have tons of makeup, but some of their fragrances are there, and they had tons of Tom Ford. And in Folsom outlets, they have a L'Oreal outlet store. So if you guys are ever visiting California and you'd like outlet...
Didn't somebody post some... I remember I texted it to you, and I don't remember who posted it. Somebody put something about some store up in Tahoe.
Yeah, there is a store in Tahoe. It's a perfume shop that I've been to for a long time ago when it was, I think it was owned by somebody else.
I'm going to go. They had everything.
Yeah, they have a ton of stuff. Tahoe's not a destination for perfume, but I guess it is becoming one.
Well, I mean, not now, obviously, but at some point, let's road trip up there because I got to check that out.
Yeah. It's a 4-hour drive from here, but for my mom's, it's like an hour and a half.
We could get up early and we could get breakfast, and then we could go and shop for perfume and come back. Like, we don't even have to stay there.
That's true. Yeah, the last time I went to Tahoe, I got stuck there from the snowstorm, so I haven't been back since.
Yeah.
Anyway, any last thoughts about Sal Gosse?
Oh, right.
I know we ventured off a bit, but
you know what? What's nice is that it's not just a summer freshie. You're not limited. It's not one that you have to swap out of your collection, like your sweaters that you put away in the summer. It does have versatility, and you get a different wear experience in different weather, which is nice. And it's in colder weather, the Neroli is reminiscent of warmer days in a nice sort of like reminder way, but still very appropriate and lovely. And then in the hot weather, it's an outdoorsy kind of a lighthearted wear. And if you are struggling to justify another Neroli, this one really is different than the ones you have.
I like that whole light bubblegum effect. But what I like about Nerolis and these kind of soapy citrus fragrances is in the wintertime, if you need some uplifting because it's so dark and gloomy out there, this will do the trick. It's like very happy and uplifting. Yeah. Sunshine. You're right. Yeah. So that's what we like about these.
And it's a lovely presentation. And I mean, Frederic Malle always does, but like the kind of like clickety. Yeah. Oh, and that, right. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, Frederic Malle is not over the top with their presentation. It's pretty simplistic. And sometimes you get these big boxes. I mean, I like all that stuff, but when you have too many fragrances, the boxes starts taking over the whole entire. And so this fits nicely in here, and it's great presentation, I think. Okay. It's big, but not really big.
I kept the box and the sleeve as well. It's over there. I meant to grab it. It's nice. It's versatile. I feel like you're a bad influence, but I respect you for it.
Sorry.
No, I love it, actually. But there's at least 2 more Frederic Malles that are on my wish list, if not 3.
We both love Lys Mediterranee. Oh my God, that's so good.
So good. Yeah. So good. Also, that one is very weather dependent. I want Lipstick Rose. That one is a surprise how much I like that one. But I think I kind of grew into it. I think when I first smelled it, it was like I just wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
But now it's on the list. I'm very into violet.
Well,
I like that there's violet in this as well.
And this one, there is violet for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It very much resonates these days.
So you're sensitive to violet, it seems like, because I know you bring it up quite frequently.
I got to do if I actually went through and pulled all the bottles of violet related fragrances, I could probably do like a full list myself. At least 10.
Wow. I don't have that many. I got to dig around and get some.
That'd be fun. Compared, we've got the Molinard one.
Oh yeah, I do have that one.
I bet you have more than you think.
I have a few. Yeah.
Anyway,
we have a few more videos that you guys should look forward to. We do have one more video of Frederic Malle that I think we're going to air sometime later. But after this video, we have a fragrance created by Jean-Claude Elena, a classic that Dahlia and I are reviewing, so stick around for that. But I appreciate you guys, or we appreciate you guys watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Let us know if you're fans of Gosse and Frederic Malle, and if you are, let us know what your favorite fragrances are, Frederic Malle. And also, lastly, we have several videos on Frederic Malle fragrances with Dahlia, and of course, I have several as well. So if you are interested in watching our other fragrance videos, I have a link in the info box. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please list below. Thanks so much for watching today. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Stay tuned for more videos soon.